So last week I did a really dumb video on what it was like to be a rural demon rat, and that guest starred my old girl Superfly, who has since passed away. She was very old rat, and it was supposed to be followed up pretty immediately by another video on what it's like actually running as a rural Democrat up here. Ended up having some car troubles as I was filming that other video on the road, and ended up wasting 10 minutes of video with a lot of cursing at my poor little Honda here. But back up and running, and now we're sitting outside of work with we got third winter going on. More snow. I don't know. It's Minnesota. We live with it. We love it. I like the snow. But I just wanted to kind of go over a few things. If you're considering running for office as a Democrat in a rural area, just some things that I've learned through my couple times of running for office out here. It's fun. It is fun. There's a lot of heartache and heartbreak along the way, and just a few things to kind of keep out and remember as you're doing it. Biggest thing that I've learned over the years of participating in rural Democratic politics and running in office is know that you're probably not going to win, and that's okay. It is okay to lose out here. You know, my area in northwest Minnesota has been getting redder and redder. If you go back to 2008, we were blue. It's now 2025, and we're a 75-25 split. It's tough. And there's a few places that are a little bit more red. Otter Tail County is very, very right-wing. But there's not a lot that gets much more red than up here in like Roseau County. There's places that are a little bit easier. You know, you get down more towards the cities and you get over to the Iron Range, it's still a little bit more blue. But if you're going to run as a DFLer, as a liberal in rural areas, you need to know that it's okay to lose. And your goal is not always to win, but to get the margins, to move the metrics just a little bit, to let people know that, you know, there's Democrats out here still. You can have the voters come out and bring them out and bring out new people a little bit at a time. You're not always going to go and win. Sometimes you just need to beat the spread. And if you're going to run, you need to know that. That, I think, is the biggest thing people don't understand, is that it's not always about winning. And I've seen people come in and get absolutely crushed, not just in the vote, but in their hearts. They get hyped up by people saying, oh, you're going to be the next Roger Moe. Oh, you're going to be the next absolute massive rural Democrat, and you're going to bring back the glory days of when we were blue all up and down the Red River Valley here, and it's going to be you. You are the one that's going to do it. And they spend $40,000-$50,000 and get absolutely trounced. And they don't want anything to do with politics anymore. And it's heartbreaking. And we need more people to come in. We need those people that get motivated and want to participate more. And if you get so hyped up thinking you're going to be the new House member, the new mayor, the new council member, just because you're getting hyped up from people who want you to succeed, which is great, and you get heartbroken over it and don't want to participate anymore, it doesn't do you any favors. It doesn't help out at all. So if you're going to run, know that it's okay to lose and that you're going to move that needle little by little. And that's sometimes the goal. So if you want to run rural politics, I think that is the biggest thing to remember, is that it's not always feasible to win, but it has to be done, and we need people to do it that understand that. I will say this, most of my experience is running with the Minnesota House, and this past year, and even the 2022 cycle did have the Red to Blue initiative, which picked up a lot more in the 24 cycle of trying to get every house, what am I trying to say? Every house seat ran. Every opponent has someone going against them. There's no seats left unchallenged, especially in greater Minnesota, which is good. It's trying to get people involved. No free rides for the GOP. No free rides anywhere. Always challenge all the time. Keep people involved. I'm really hoping that, the DFL understands the value in that and brings that program back, because it is important. I think it was a worthwhile investment, and if they continue on, it might make some more progress in some of these suburban areas that are flippable. I'm not going to say that, 1A is ever going to be fully blue. We have big pockets. Demographic shifts have changed, and I'm seeing more younger people move out here for places like DigiKey and everything. But I don't ever think we're going to fully flip blue up here again, but that's not going to stop me from trying. But it's possible as more people move into Minnesota, this area could shift. Other areas could shift, and we have to keep trying. Other big thing is that you're not going to be well liked, especially in rural areas. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to make it very well known that you are not welcome. And I'm not sure if that's just for DFLers or just politicians in general, because it's politics. The people that are involved are very involved, and the people that don't want to be involved in politics let you know. But the people that don't want your particular brand of politics really don't want your particular brand of politics. We have a lot of outgoing people up in this area, especially up in Roseau County, that don't like me, and they make it well known. And I'll still go up into these areas. I don't hide at all. I'm very easy to find. No one up here looks like me. I'm the only one around besides my family with his wife and kids with my last name. I'm very findable. Very unique looking, Look at me. But I try to stay involved everywhere. Roseau County Fair is held during the week for some reason, which is tough, but there hasn't been a DFL candidate that's gone up there in years upon years. And in 2024, we made the effort to go up there, and not well received by most of the folks up there, which was expected. But we still had people that were very happy to see us up there. Not many, but you get the people that are like, hey, you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you for showing us that, your Democrat is up here. There's still people taking the effort to see us. And a lot of the time it's just that. Making a show that there's still a presence in the area is enough to get the vote out a little bit more. And it's tough. Everyone knows the national policies, the national politics. If you're running during a presidential race, you'll get a lot of turnout, especially in Minnesota where our turnout's great. But you always have to still get out there and get people to go for the down ballot stuff, which is a pain in the ass. I don't have the numbers in front of me because I wasn't prepared for doing this out in the car on my lunch break. But if you go on a lot of my numbers from presidential down to, the CD7 for Fischbach down to the House race from last year, there was a 400 or 500 vote drop off that just people didn't vote down ballot. And it's tough to get people to want to go all the way down, especially when a lot of these places around here are mail-in voting. People have time. They just didn't want to go further than what they had to. And it's not unexpected, but the more you can get out and get your name out there, just like anywhere else, the better chance you're going to get these voters in. The hard part with being rural, though, is it's far. It's tough to get out everywhere. And if you're going to run rural politics, you need to be able to get out there to all these small towns. 1A up here is massive. I have 4 counties, Pennington, Marshall, Roseau, and Kitson. I spent one day going to every single town in the area. I started at 7. I didn't get home till after 9:30, 10 o'clock. And that was on a motorcycle, just stopping to take some pictures and saying hi to a few people every now and then. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. But if you don't do it and if you can't get out, you're not going to meet who you need to meet. I personally don't think that door knocking every single farmstead in these rural areas is going to get you anywhere. I think events, town events, is the way to go for getting more people to you, hosting events and everything. And not just party events, but going out and going to a park and setting up, having, hot dogs or something. We did grilled cheese feed, which was really fun, got a lot of people out. Stuff like that gets people to you, even if they don't care about politics, but everyone likes, free food or something. I feel that works a little bit better for getting people to you rather than trying to find each and every farm that's, a mile and a half, 2 miles apart. For a lot of people that don't want to talk to you anyways, rural politics. That's me disagreeing with a lot of the general go-to on what people say you should do. I haven't won my stuff, obviously, so, don't listen to me on that one. But you are going to be doing a lot of traveling, and you need to be ready for that. And it's tough. I spent a lot of time away from my family. I got small kids, and we did a lot of stuff together with parades and everything. But be prepared to spend a lot of time away from them if you do this. And that's the other thing to bring up is it takes a lot of time between events and planning and parades, and you have to do these things. Honestly, a lot of people say, yeah, you don't have to do everything, but honestly, if you're not doing something and you're trying to make an actual effort into it, you're shooting yourself in the foot. We have 19 parades in this district up here, and we hit up 14 of them because some of them were on same day, some same times. Those are big. Parades are massive. It's an easy way to get in front of a lot of people. And even if people don't like you, everyone likes candy. Everyone likes stickers. And it's a good way just to meet a lot of people. And if you have stuff ready to hand out to people who are ready to be like, hey, I'll take a sign. Hey, give me some stickers or a handout. It's big. If people see you giving stuff out to people in line, more people will be willing to take that from you as well. To always be prepared for that. It's expensive. It is. But it's something you need to be prepared for, is all these events, because they start early. I think we started doing parades. I think the first major one we did was 4th of July, and then it was just nonstop from there. But it's not cheap. I think we probably spent about $6,000-7,000 just on candy alone during this last run. So, be prepared for that. You have to fundraise. You have to fundraise and fundraise and fundraise, and asking for money is no fun, but that is a major part of this. Minnesota, we're very lucky that we have the political contribution refund, which is huge because people can give you money and they get their money back. You have to learn to be able to sell that, just like you're selling yourself. But you got to get good at that, so get that PCR out there. Be like, hey, give me $50. I'll give you this receipt. You get your $50 back in 3 weeks. Support me a little bit here, because it adds up. If you're not able to raise, $5,000 in a couple months from people around you, it's going to be extremely hard to run a serious campaign. It really, really is. Money goes a lot farther out in these rural campaigns, but it's still expensive. And like I said, we spent thousands of dollars in candy for these parades, and that's one of the best ways to get out in front of so many people. But signs, couple $1,000. We did a couple of billboards in Thief River and War Road. That was $2,300 for 6 weeks of billboard time. Newspaper ads, those are, $1,000 for running for that. Everything costs money. It's sad how much everything costs, but everything costs a lot of money, and it doesn't get any cheaper. It's only getting harder and harder. And if you run, save all your stuff if you want to run again, because that helps out. I had everything from 22 ready for 24. So I had some signs built up already. I had stickers built up already. That was a huge help because we were able to hit the ground running. We didn't need to wait for new stuff to come in for those first events. Saved us a little bit of time and money. But yeah, fundraise. If you're thinking about running for next year, 26, sign up now. Get signed up with the election board for getting your PCRs and everything, being able to sign those receipts off, and start fundraising. If you're even considering it, start doing it now, because the sooner you get on it, the better chance you're going to have. I hate how much everything costs and how it all comes down to money, but if you don't have it, you don't have a chance. It's unfortunate fact of life in this political climate, but it's what it is. It really is. It's just what it is, and you have to have it. There's a lot of consulting firms and everything out there that you could spend, and they'll give you thousands of ideas and all that. But honestly, it's just, run the race how it feels good to you in your heart. We did a lot of dumb stuff and silly videos, and a lot of our campaign was based on memes and being stupid. And my stickers is Minnesota wearing a pair of sunglasses. Our motto was deal with it, and it was a lot of fun, and it worked, and people responded well to it, and we got the same amount of votes that everyone else has been doing up here. So it works. Don't try to compromise yourself just to try what everyone says you need to win. Because if it worked, they would have been winning this whole time too. So, run the campaign that you want. Get a lot of money together. Be okay with not winning. It's the big ones right there. Find who you're going to get to volunteer. That is the other biggest thing I can say, is find a good core group of volunteers that you can count on that will help you out. I have a few amazing friends that were great to help. My wife and my kids, great for the parades and everything. Ended up using a lot of my kids as friends because they just want to walk the parade and throw candy. And that's great. A lot of people won't yell at you when you have a bunch of kids around you, and that worked out really fine. But, you do need adults and everything to be able to hand out the more important stuff and not just throw candy, but to give out the pamphlets and signs and keep up with everything. So, honest to God, you're going to need at least 5 solid people that you can count on. And it doesn't sound like much, but it can be very hard to find people that are willing to put in that amount of time to go with you to the events. And you need it. So I want to say, if it's something that you're really considering doing, get that locked in now. Know in your heart that you're doing this because it's the right thing to do. That you're willing to put in the time just to move margins, to get a few percentage points here and there. Because it's not just about your race. You run this, you're running to bring people out for the Senate. You're running to bring people out for maybe some good school board candidates, for a mayoral candidate. We have governor races coming out. Everyone on that ballot you're hoping has people that represent you as well, and you need them out with you. So you're bringing out good candidates and people that you're trying to get to the ballot, not just for yourself, but for good, DFLers, good liberal candidates. But it's okay if you don't win. If you can move percentage points for statewide races, that helps. Every little bit helps. So know that it's okay that if you don't win. It's not always about that. Find yourself some good people that will volunteer for you. That's huge. You need those people to stay close by with you. Not just for the help. I mean, you're going to need the emotional support. That it gets to be a lot. It does. I'm not going to go into all that because it's one of those things you really will learn as it goes on, just how much this stuff weighs on you and how people get when it comes into politics and how people act, as we've seen recently in just these past 2 months. But have a very good support group that will help you out. Get fundraising right now for 2026. If you're even considering it to run for a House race or, a state Senate or something, sign up. Get ready for your PCR contributions right now if you're running for state something or another. It's no better time than right now to start doing this. It's not just about getting the nomination or the endorsement from your local DFL party. You have to put in the work beforehand, because if you're starting out when you get that endorsement, you're already far behind. You need to get it going way before they say anything, because that's not for over a year away. So get on it now. If you're considering running, just start. Literally go onto the website, print out the forms, and start fundraising. Start getting out there. Start going to events. Start going to protests. Build your name up. Make a name for yourself right now. Yeah. It's an experience. It really is. It's a hard experience, but it's rewarding, and it's needed and necessary. And I hope I've inspired somebody maybe to run in the rural campaigns. I know I don't make it sound the best as I ramble on and on about this, but I hope we get more people willing to step up and can inspire another generation of people willing to go and try out new things. We need young leaders to come in. It's been very disappointing watching our federal leadership in the Democratic Party recently. I can't say I'm too happy with most of them. And we all got to start somewhere. I think starting local is a great spot. We'll see. If anyone ever has any questions about what it's like to run for small local offices or anything, let me know. I'm not the best at everything, but I've done this a few times. I can certainly try to help out any way I can, or give you some answers, or point you towards some resources. Again, I don't exactly know how to do all this stuff. I'm just kind of sitting in my car rambling on again here a little bit longer than I mean to, but thanks for watching, and I hope I answered some questions about what it's like to really run for a rural office up here, and what you need and what you can do.